I emailed the man I met. I pretty much drilled him with every question I could think of. What's with the mold, the lavender, what was that thing in the basement, how can I stop it, can we cure Lisa or the others, and on and on. The email was very long. I gave him all of my contact info, and he replied a couple hours later. I copied and pasted his response here. Regarding, it's Alan. From Z at deltaseeker.z@gmail.com. To Alan, last name redacted, July 24th, 1:33 p.m. Alan, I know you want answers. If I was in your position, I'd want them too. I can't tell you everything at the risk of losing my job, though. The anonymity of the internet allows us to communicate, but I will not call the phone number you gave me, and it is probable that we will never see each other again, as long as you keep your nose out of trouble. So, bearing all of this in mind, I will answer what I can. We are a group of people who solve problems like the one you are experiencing. Among other things, my organization has been keeping tabs on the mold phenomenon since its first documented appearance in 1788. That's all I will say about my organization. As for what kind of mold this is, the bag of lavender acts as you may not want to believe, but sometimes mumbo-jumbo, as you refer to. We found that lavender works very well and is very cheap and easy to find. If you don't like thinking of this as magical, you can consider this creature extreme. However, this does not mean you can kill it. Do not attempt to. We've been trying for more than 200 years. Spawning again across the world is another, in a sense. We only know how to treat the symptoms, not the disease. We don't know how to kill the source. Any attempt you make will only anger it, and it will hunt you with a vengeance. Come. This thing can affect your brain and body in various ways. When possessed, a human, eventually and invariably, the infection ends with death. Its one purpose. What happened with you and Elizabeth is not the norm. There's very little hope for Jessica, last name redacted, Lisa, last name redacted, and Alex, last name redacted. From what Jessica wrote, we know at least one person in this case is beyond help. This thing is very clever, and it knows us well. Do not expect miracles, but let us do our job. I read your posts on reddit.com/r/nosleep. After someone from the site emailed me asking about the thing in the vents, it was foolish to post your story online, much less my email address. As I said, this thing is clever, and it will use you. I suggest you leave town with Elizabeth. We aren't your babysitters, though. Your pit is only as deep as you dig it. As long as you don't fuck up our investigation, we won't have any issues. But I can't promise I'll be there to save your ass next time. Luck, Z. I'm trying really hard not to write back to this Z that he and his organization can go fuck themselves. I know he reads this, though. So thanks so much for nothing, asshole. No solutions, no real answers. Just a couple of warnings and telling me my friends are fucked and there's nothing I can do about it. Coldly explaining that there's really no hope. Telling me that there's shit out there I don't understand. Yeah, no shit. Fuck you, Z. I'm not saying he's not right about the mold, or even the fucking being he mentioned, though that makes me think he's fucking with me. I'm gonna be careful, but I'm also gonna take it with a grain of salt. He did know who I am, and he did have a few answers, but no help. In any case, I'll do this with or without him or his little group, if such a group even exists. Probably just a bunch of pimply hackers with too much time on their hands. Or maybe it's just this one dude trying to fuck with me. That's really all I have for you tonight. The only other thing of note was that when Elizabeth went to pick up some Chinese for dinner, I received a text from her. And here's what it said. Lizzie M. at 6:05 p.m.
I need help.
Me at 6:07 p.m. With what? Lizzie M. at 6:07 p.m.
I heard you were back in town.
Seeing the typos made me realize Liz didn't have her phone. She'd lost it when she'd gone to my apartment that night, just before she'd blacked out. Seeing the apartment empty had creeped her out, and she'd heard some kind of moaning and run for it, thinking a homeless guy was squatting in my bedroom. She'd dropped her phone in the kitchen, of course, according to Z, She'd gotten infected then or shortly before. Me at 6:08 p.m. Who the fuck is this? A good 15 minutes passed. Liz returned home and I filled her in. She got very pale, and then Lizzie M. at 6:23 p.m.
This is not a fucking game, Alan. Sorry, Al. Didn't mean it. Trust no one. They are lying. You will be so sorry. Just come home. Please, come home.
Now I know how Jess felt. This may be the most significant thing that's ever happened to me. I'm gonna figure this out. I need to.